Hey everyone, so I just finished watching the June 21st Nintendo Direct, and I gotta say, I thought it was great. Let's go over the highs and lows and why I enjoyed it so much. At first, the Direct actually started pretty slow in my mind. They started off the presentation with DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Personally, I enjoyed Violet when it first came out, but once I finished the story, I never really got the urge to go back to it. And honestly, none of this DLC is really catching my interest. Next up is a bit more info on Sonic Superstars. The game looks pretty good, maybe not a day one for me, but I'll definitely check it out at some point after it releases this fall. Next is Palia in a free-to-play adventure sim. Honestly, not really something I'm going to check out, but if you're interested, it'll be available holiday 2023. Another game we learned about rather recently, Persona 5 Tactica was shown. I've actually never played a Persona game, so I'm not entirely sure it's my style, but the tactic style gameplay definitely makes me more curious about it compared to some of the other massive mainline games. And this has a release date of November 17, 2023. This next game looks pretty interesting as it has a Saturday morning cartoon vibe and it's called Myth Force. It seems to be a first-person fantasy game with magical abilities, and they did mention it's going to have 4-player online co-op. I'm curious to know a bit more, and it'll be out later this year. After that, they showed off info for the next Splatfest, this time all about ice cream with vanilla, strawberry, and mint chip. You know, I was really excited for Splatoon 3 when it was announced, and I got it right away, but I definitely fell off it pretty quickly. I definitely played Splatoon 2 way more, and I just seem to be having a hard time caring about these Splatfests. But if you're a big Splatoon 3 player, the next Splatfest is taking place in mid-July. Then they went back to Pokemon, which really caught me off guard with Detective Pikachu Returns. I actually like the idea of Detective Pikachu, but I've never played the 3DS game, so someone please tell me what's up with Pikachu's voice. I was absolutely not expecting that. It sounds like he's been smoking cigars his entire life. I might check this out when it comes out October 6th, but damn, that time frame is really filling up with games to play. Honestly, at this point in the show, I was feeling pretty underwhelmed. Then Nintendo decided to take it up a notch. I had heard rumors online of a Super Nintendo remake, but I wasn't really expecting it to be Super Mario RPG, and it looks amazing. I originally played this a few years back on the Super Nintendo Classic, and I absolutely loved it. The new art style looks great, and I already know the game itself is great, so in my mind, this is an absolute must-play, and it comes out in November on the 17th. Honestly, I can't believe it's going to be out this year. When I first saw this, I literally yelled out in excitement to myself at 10 a.m., and it completely upped my mood for the rest of the presentation. After Mario RPG, Nintendo showed off a new Princess Peach game, and this trailer was super short, but it looks like it takes place on a stage. Then they moved over to Luigi with the visually enhanced version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which originally released on the 3DS. They did say both of those games will launch next year, so that's exciting stuff for 2024. Next is a collection a lot of people have been asking about, as Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight are all coming to the Switch, as the Batman Arkham Trilogy is going to be out this fall. That was followed by Gloomhaven, which looks to be a tactics game. Apparently it's based off a board game, which I've never heard of, so I don't really know much about it. I doubt it's going to be something I check out, but if you want to, it'll be out September 18th. Up next was Just Dance, and I'm amazed they're still making these games. Obviously there's a market for it, but it's definitely not me or anyone I know. But if it's you, then be ready for it on October 24th. That was followed up by Silent Hope. I'm not entirely sure I'm interpreting this trailer right, but it seems like it's an action RPG without words. I don't know if there's no words spoken at all, or just the main characters don't speak, as they said 7 wordless warriors, which could make for some interesting game design. Using non-verbal signs to tell the player where to go or what to do can make for a different type of game. If you're curious about it, it's out on October 3rd. Next up is Fae Farm. It looks to have some combat, some farming, and it's co-op, so if you're into that, be ready on September 8th. It's a pretty short trailer, there's not much else to say about it. That was followed up by Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. I didn't play it a lot, but what I did play the first one was really good. This new game has a track builder, split screen co-op, and online multiplayer, and it comes out on the Switch on October 19th. Next up is Manic Mechanics, and this looks exactly like Overcooked, just for cars. It seems like it's a hectic co-op game that'll be a good time with friends, and it's out on July 13th. After that, we have a little bit more Mario with Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC. This seems like it's an entirely music-based DLC, which could be really cool. I really liked Mario plus Rabbids games. I feel like it's a shame Sparks of Hope didn't do as well as I thought it would. But if you want to try out this new DLC, it's out today. And if you've never tried it, there is a demo for the main game on the eShop if you're curious about it. Next up is Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. I actually really like this art style, but I've never been a Dragon Quest person, so I kind of have no idea what's going on here. But it almost seems like it's a Dragon Quest Pokemon game. If I'm wrong, please correct me down in the comments. And we did get a release date for it, for December 1st. Then Nintendo went into a decently large showcase for Pikmin 4. This game looks more and more adorable every time I see it. While it may not be a day one purchase for me, it'll definitely be something I eventually try. It sounds like you can go underground in this game, which will unveil a whole new world to adventure through, as well as nighttime gameplay, which includes new glow Pikmin, and this game comes out on July 21st. But if you don't want to wait until July to play some Pikmin, you can now get the digital HD versions of Pikmin 1 and 2 on the eShop, and they're out right now. So you'll be able to get all 4 Pikmin games on the Switch, which is pretty big news for Pikmin fans. Then another massive collection: Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, along with a ton of even older titles with Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, and the NES versions of Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge. Personally, this entire franchise has basically passed me by. I know, it's crazy that I've never put a lot of time into any of these games, but with one giant collection, I can, and I will. This is definitely something I'm going to pick up on October 24th. That was followed by Vampire Survivors, and it looks like it added 4-player couch co-op, and it's coming to the Switch on August 17th. After that was a really weird looking rhythm battle royale. It's definitely not something I'm going to rush out and try, especially on Halloween. But if you're looking for a new party game to play on Halloween, Headbanger Rhythm Royale just might be it. This next game is something that absolutely caught my eye. Called Penny's Big Breakaway. Apparently it's by the team that made Sonic Mania, and it's a platforming game where it looks like you can use a yo-yo like a lasso and a motorcycle and who knows how else. This looks 100% like it's my style of platforming, and I definitely want to know more. It's set to come out in early 2024, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out for more information about this game. That was followed by Wave 5 for the Mario Kart DLC. I honestly don't turn on Mario Kart very much these days, but it's got more returning characters and extra courses, so that's good stuff, but I don't really feel like it's going to pull me back in. Next up was Star Ocean: The Second Story R, and I've never played a Star Ocean game, so I have no idea what it's about. Although some of the visuals in this trailer looked absolutely awesome, and some of the combat looked really cool. While it's not at the top of my list, it's something that I probably will check out one day, as I am curious about the franchise. But if you're looking forward to it, you can start playing it November 2nd. After that, we had WarioWare Move It, and I probably should be more excited for this game than I actually am. I bought and fell off WarioWare Get It Together extremely fast. For some reason, I just couldn't get into it, and I'm just not in the mood for more. But if you are, WarioWare Move It comes out on November 3rd, just one day after Star Ocean. Sometimes the quirkiness of these Nintendo Directs really makes me laugh. They can be so serious and yet so playful at the same time. It really helps make for an enjoyable presentation. Then, before the last announcement, they did a quick little showcase for Nintendo Live, and they showed off a couple of new amiibo for Tears of the Kingdom. Not something I personally care about, as I own 0 amiibo, but they do look pretty cool. And finally, new 2D Mario. This game looks so fun, and I absolutely cannot wait. The art style, the colors, the music, the charm that the game oozes was all fantastic. Called Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the game has these new mechanics where the interactivity within the levels change, and it looks like it makes for some crazy gameplay. They also showed off quite a bit in terms of potential playable characters, that Yoshi is in the game, that there's co-op, there's even a new ridiculous hilarious looking elephant power-up. Honestly, I can't wait, and I won't have to wait for long as it's out in October. Personally, I absolutely love this Direct. 2D Mario, Mario RPG, Princess Peach game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake, and all the Pikmin talk with 1 and 2 coming out digitally today made for a really good first party showing. Along with the Metal Gear Solid collection, the yo-yo platformer Penny's Big Breakaway, the Batman Trilogy, and so many other games, I feel like this was one of the better shows I've watched in recent memory. There was just too many games shown that looked like they were meant for me. Maybe it's because I absolutely love Mario games, and there was a lot of them in this show. While not everything caught my eye, like another WarioWare, the Splatfest, or smaller games like Palia, but they didn't take away from my overall enjoyment of the show. After looking through this list, I can tell Nintendo is going to be destroying my wallet for the foreseeable future. But what about you? Let me know your favorite and least favorite announcements down in the comments below, and if you were surprised by anything. Personally, I was surprised there was no Switch Online games announced. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you want to know my thoughts on an older Mario game, then be sure to check out this video right here.